Royal Enfield seems to have taken a page from Apple's playbook by actually leaking their own product before anybody else had a chance to do so. Why wait for those pesky, latent, lazy paparazzi to take photos of your brand new 750cc adventure bike when you can actually post them yourself on Instagram? Welcome back to Long Way Home, everyone. The place where getting your motorcycle news is easier than getting a root canal, but not by much. Royal Enfield is expected to drop its brand new and long-awaited 750cc mid-sized adventure bike in the next few months, and here's why this new 750 is such a big deal. But before any of that, this episode is sponsored by the Innov P1 portable tire inflator. Royal Enfield has come a long way in the past decade. The first Himalayan was launched almost a decade ago at the beginning of 2016, and while fans of KTM, Honda, BMW and other established adventure brands didn't flock to immediately adopt a 410 Himalayan, over the years it did become a cult favorite. Even though the engine was lacking in power with just 25 ponies to play with, the brakes were there just because someone had told Royal Enfield they had to have brakes. The 410 was easy to maintain, easy to repair on the side of the road when something inevitably went wrong, and compared to its competitors, very well priced at around $4,500 US. 7 years go by and hello to Mr. 450 Himalayan. Although sharing the same name and with a bit of a bigger engine, these two bikes had nothing in common apart from having the same customer base. The 450 was built from scratch. With a new modern chassis, the engine was now water-cooled instead of air-cooled and put out almost double the power at 40 horses. The gearbox was now a 6-speed instead of a 5-speed. The 450 is basically what Royal Enfield envisioned as the perfect small-sized adventure touring bike. Accounting for inflation, they even priced it the same as the 410. When the 450 launched in 2023 at $5,800 it cost the same as when the 410 launched in 2016. This was a huge step up for Royal Enfield, and it definitely made a lot of their fans happy and also helped to convert some naysayers to the brand. Both of these bikes are still currently sold by Royal Enfield, with a bigger brother, the 750, about to join the family in the next couple of months, but with a few notable changes. The bike is already in its final testing stages, which means that we should get an official reveal in November at EICMA this year. Until then, we have some spy shots taken earlier on and some official photos straight from Royal Enfield themselves. Technologically, the engine will stay mostly the same as their current 650, with just a bump in size to 750cc, which will most probably bring its power to around 50 to 60 horsepower. In an interview with MCN, Steve Everett, lead designer at Royal Enfield, stated that the new engine is a development of the 650. Extremely similar, but it makes more power. It's tuned for its job with a larger bore and stroke. So basically, we'll be getting a 750cc parallel twin engine, which is both air and oil cooled. It's not water cooled. It will be making around 50 to 60 horsepower, tuned for low down torque, because this is definitely a bike you will be taking and thrashing off-road. Instead of a 21-inch front and 17-inch rear like on the 450 Himalayan, we will only see a 19-inch front wheel, making the bike less capable on hard enduro trails, but easier to live with for day-to-day riding. The unmarked bike we see in the spy photos and also in the official Instagram ones is a lot closer to production than you would imagine. Apart from slapping on some paint and making final adjustments, this is pretty much what we're gonna get. Royal Enfield's global head of product strategy detailed the process a little in the MCN interview, stating that it all begins with a clay model which takes them around a year to get ready. This, I found out earlier on, is about the standard in the automotive industry for clay models. Very expensive, very difficult to get right, and extremely time consuming. After the clay model, they built a fully adjustable development mule. Everything from the footrests to the fork position is adjustable at this stage, and the test riders tune everything for the intended purpose of the bike, in this case an adventure bike. Afterwards, they build prototypes, do a lot of kilometers on them for fine tuning, and to iron out gremlins that might still be sticking around. For a bike to get to this stage where we can see it now, it has to be of a certain maturity and be well into the process for production. Is the 750 then replacing the older 450? Nope, it will sit right alongside it in the lineup, offering a more affordable, smaller and less complicated option, which is great. If the 450 wasn't really your cup of tea because of any reason, but you wanted to dip your toe into the Royal Enfield ecosystem, maybe the 750 is just what you were waiting for. In the US, the smaller 450 Himalayan starts at around $6,000 US, which is a good price for a capable bike. The new 750 really is a great chance for Royal Enfield to attract a lot of customers to their playground. Let's be serious, the 450 probably was too small for most adventure and touring riders without a really proven reliability record, but a lot has changed since it first came out. New dealers are popping up everywhere. Royal Enfield is selling more bikes than ever, especially now when a lot of other seasoned manufacturers are having trouble with their sales. So if they price the 750 just right, don't become too greedy, make the bike actually good and fun to ride, they might have an all-access pass to a great customer base here. November is just around the corner, so we'll get a full reveal around the beginning of next month. I'll keep you updated on that, so make sure you are subscribed. In the meantime, why don't you drop down to the comment section below and let us know what your wish list for the new 750 Himalayan would be. What would you like to see on there? What would your priorities be on this new mid-weight adventure bike? And don't say weight, because that gets reduced when price goes up most of the time, and we're hoping for it to be uber accessible to everyone. Don't let a flat tire out there ruin your perfectly enjoyable ride. Get down to plugging it and then effortlessly pump it right back up with Inov's portable P1 inflator. Boasting an impressive 150 psi or 10 bar max pumping pressure, 60-second fast inflation from 20 to 28 psi, 3 different lighting modes so you don't have to work in the dark, including a red SOS light, an aluminium alloy case which helps dissipate heat while you're pumping thanks to its built-in cooling fan, and guess what? It can also double as a 6000 mAh battery bank if your tires are fine but your phone isn't. Use code LWH for a 10% discount site-wide on inov.com and just enjoy riding without having to worry about pumping up your tires. Well, that's the show for today, everyone. If you've enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up, and if you think you've learned something new, consider subscribing or becoming one of our Patreons to help us make more of these shows. Cheers, and I'll see you on the next one.